cherish all the time you spend, you tuned in to. It's time again to cherish all the time you spend, you tuned in to. It's the number one podcast. The topics of discussion when we broadcast. So all them artificial man jokes, we do it natural from the concrete to a public standpoint. Real, wherever you're from, life is coexistence, but to know the real, you just gotta listen. Wherever you're from, life is coexistence, but to know the real.
What's up, everybody, and welcome to the 52 Scott Podcast. I'm your host, K Money, and in the building with me, my co-host Slash, Freddie G, and Comedian 96. Collectively, we are the Mind of Men. You can find us on X, formerly known as Twitter, at 52 Scott Podcast, Instagram and Facebook, the 52 Scott Podcast, and if you're on YouTube, don't forget to like and or subscribe. What's up, fellas? Welcome to another True Tuesday episode. Man, today I wanted to speak and talk about the recent political assassination that occurred on Charlie Kirk, who I had no idea who this guy was. I hadn't heard of him prior to, this assassination. And I think, Freddie G, you're the only person at the panel that has knowledge of Charlie Kirk. So I'm gonna read what they say, who they say Charlie Kirk was. He was an American conservative political activist, author, and media personality. He co-founded the student organization Turning Point USA, also known as TPUSA, in 2012, and served as its executive director. He was the chief executive officer of Turning Point Action and a member of the Council of National Policy. And in his later years, he was one of the most prominent voices of the populist MAGA movement in the Republican Party. Born and raised in Chicago suburb of Arlington Heights and Prospect Heights, and he briefly attended Harper College before leaving to pursue his political activism full time. Like I said, to hear all of that, and I know I'm not into politics that much to where I'm watching CNN faithfully or anything of that nature, even around election time. So I had no knowledge who Charlie Kirk was. But again, after this incident occurred, of course, you start to see and hear more things, whether it be positive or negative, on the person involved. And after seeing and hearing who Charlie Kirk was, I definitely wouldn't have been a fan of him. I saw where he got famous from pretty much debating against college students, trying to convince them that colleges were a scam. Also, he was known for saying that how blacks make up 13 to 14% of the population, but half of all prisons are half of all the prisons are made up of blacks, saying that we commit more crimes than white folks.
Oh yeah.
So he made a lot of noise. I can imagine saying things of that nature. How you guys feel about Mr. Kirk, who recently was assassinated?
So what I heard, because I didn't know who he was either, but I started learning a lot after it happened about him. A lot of videos surfaced.
Yeah,
what kind of person he was. All the videos that surfaced I seen, he just reminds me of a white Charleston White.
I thought the exact same thing.
That's who he reminds me of. But what throws me off is he got killed by a white person.
Exactly.
I can
That's kind of ironic to be talking about how blacks are more. They murder more than white folks, and they commit more crimes than white folks. Mm-hmm. And here you are being killed by a white folks.
It just went against everything you said.
Everything you said. Yeah. Well, I mean, we have black on black crime, right? But
true.
For some reason, they have not touched or tried to touch Charleston White or the other whistleblower, the girl. What is her name? The singer. I can't remember the girl's name.
Jaguar Wright.
Jaguar Wright, yeah. So it seems like if you whistleblowing, the whites ain't tolerating it. They finna get.
You mentioned him being another Charleston White, or just like Charleston White. And I look at him as a combination of Charleston White and Trump, right? Because when he's debating these kids, the information that he's putting out, he's overly exaggerating. You know, just like Trump, know Trump to do.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so
he is. Yeah,
he's a combination. If Trump and Charleston White was to have a baby, it would probably be Charlie Kirk.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Freddie G, I know you had a little info on Charlie. If you care to share, we appreciate it.
Well, for starters, of course he's going to talk about college in that way. Everybody's entitled to their own opinion. Let me just say that. But he talked about how college was a scam and all of those things, right?
Right.
Well, if college was a scam, why are so many, from back in the day to some now, why do they try to keep certain ethnic groups out of colleges and don't want them to learn if it was such a scam?
Yeah.
I think part of the reason why he feels that way is because he was a college dropout. So
He
It was a
didn't make
community
it.
college at that wasn't it?
I don't know what college you went to.
It was Harvard. I'm about to say Harvard.
He couldn't make it.
He was a college dropout. Now again, there'll be people that say that college is not for everybody.
Harper College, Freddie G.
Yeah, so there'll be a lot of people that would say college is not for everybody.
Yeah.
But yeah, you probably have a disdain for college because you couldn't hack it in college. But because you had some hustle about yourself and you had some con
That's exactly
about yourself,
I think that's exactly what's going
you
on.
were able to create a lucrative business
From it.
from hustling and spreading lies and conspiracy theories and conning folks who are easily influenced. And so by you doing that, you built your little empire, whatever the case may be. But at the end of the day, man, you are what you are. I mean, you can see it. Ain't nobody. I mean, only the people who are easily influenced can't see that this guy was a racist. Can't see it. Come on, man. He wasn't even a politician. He wasn't even a politician.
No, he was in my opinion, because it mentioned how he played a prominent role in the mega movement. You know, he was
An influencer.
well, I'm trying
He go and speak at colleges, and he shares his beliefs. He shares his beliefs. He goes and he shares his conspiracies. He goes and he really stretches the truth.
damn, can I think of the word?
They're saying he's a political activist.
If Trump said do this, he go jump and do it. Basically,
He's a do boy.
I was trying to think of that's not the name I was looking for, but that's
A flunky, do boy. He's
go
all-
for it's a
all
whole bunch of
labor,
names that fall up under, but that's what I was trying to pretty much say in regards to the political realm. You know, no, he wasn't a politician, but anything that these high politicians that was in that mega movement.
So let me. I feel you.
Yeah.
Well, let me share it to you this way. This may be comparing apples to oranges, but I think y'all will follow me. If y'all read the Bible and y'all believe in your Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, well, you know Jesus Christ said, "Go spread the gospel," right?
Yes.
So, and I'm paraphrasing. So, you may be having a conversation with somebody, and then all of a sudden you see the opportunity. You wasn't even going out to go and be spreading the gospel like that, but you see an opportunity to be like, man, I pray, man, and you get to talking and you spreading the gospel.
Right.
But you were told to do that because you were a believer, right? Well, that dude believed in Trump.
Yeah.
And again, that may be comparing apples to oranges, but Trump said, hey, go out and spread the gospel. Go spread the MAGA movement. Go spread it. Go and do it. And you got the ear of the youth. See, that's where a lot of people are not, they're not factoring in. They're not thinking. We'll talk about it as black folks. What are we thinking?
Right.
We'll say, man, the youth got to get out and vote. The youth got to get out and vote. We'll be talking to our community, right? The youth got to get out and vote. But what young person is going to the black community, to the black colleges. What young black person is telling these youth, the young youth to go out and vote, it's the old people.
Right.
To tell the youth to go out and vote.
If they see someone.
Well, the MAGA movement, Charlie is young. And you go to these white colleges and you get these white kids, young youth, to go out and vote. All of these colleges, the man was in Utah, man.
Yeah. And you, like you mentioned, now you said something earlier in regards to how Trump possibly would have said, you know, go out and preach the gospel in regards to the mega movement. I was reading the mission statement for TPUSA, Turning Point USA, and it's to identify, educate, train, and organize students to promote the principles of fiscal responsibility, free markets, and limited government.
That's exactly what I just said.
Yeah, you pretty much, you know, hit the nail on the head where that's concerned, because that sounds like something that would be up under 47's umbrella, though.
Cult
you know.
following.
Yeah.
It's exactly what I just said. And the thing is that it'll be okay if it was positive. And if you were spreading positive, if you was having a positive influence on the masses, that'll be okay to go out and spread whatever word that needs to be spread. If it was something positive to help people grow and there was no racial undertones with your message. It would also be okay if this was more fact-based of the information that you're spreading.
Right.
It will also be okay if it was more fact-based.
My issue is, you know, it says that it's a non-profit organization, but he was making money off of these debates that he was having on these campuses.
Man, I'm going to say this, and I don't want to open up a can of worms, and I'll have a whole big old debate, and I'm not getting all of that.
That ain't nothing.
Non-profit is making profits.
Yeah.
It sure is.
I just said it's gonna open up a whole time.
I hate to say it because people don't understand. If a business say they're non-profit, that means they donate 85% of their earnings. If they make 100 million, they donate 85 million. They still made 15 million.
Yeah,
but it's just tax free.
Yeah.
That's it, because they donate the 85.
Non-profit is making profit. Now there's some people that really think non-profit, they're not making a profit at all. So if that's the case, you'll be losing money.
You'll be losing, yeah.
But you look at the hypocrisy in him. He's making money off of college kids or college campuses that he's debating these very students that college itself is a scam. So,
but here's the thing, though. We see it on social media every day, especially in the black community, right? What sells? Negativity, arguing. Debate is arguing. People like to see a fight, whether it's physical or verbal. People like that stuff, and they'll tune in for it. And then you got some people, you know, we were talking behind the scenes earlier, before this show even started. We were talking about boxing, right? And I mentioned that, hey, the reason why Floyd Mayweather numbers were what they were is because people tuned in to see him win, and then you had haters that tuned in to see him lose. Well, those people that Charlie was debating in colleges and all that stuff, that don't believe in what he believes in, they want to see him lose.
Right.
So you're like, you know what? I want to go challenge him.
Right.
I want to go challenge. And what that does, it just brings more and more and more. And eventually, if you keep listening, and you keep listening to some bullshit, you gonna fuck around. Some of that shit gonna seep into you. If you keep listening to bullshit.
Yeah.
he's also been known to say Ketanji Brown Jackson was a diversity hire. What you guys think about that?
Who?
Ketanji Brown Jackson, elected to the Supreme Court.
Oh.
So check this out.
Oh, go ahead.
I'm sorry.
No, go ahead. Go ahead. Yeah.
Man, let me tell you something, man.
You would have been a perfect person to be debating Charlie.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Bring it on, Charlie. God bless the dead. But
sorry, Charlie.
Yeah, sorry, Charlie. But
sorry, Charlie.
But let me say this, man. It's not if you don't like a particular group of people, you're gonna always share your opinion in hopes that somebody agree with your opinion. Yeah. Let me show you something. Oh, she was a DEI hire. What was Governor Greg Abbott if that's the case? He in a wheelchair. That's DEI.
True. Yeah. True.
So, what about all these white women who benefited from it the most? So let's keep it a buck. Let's keep it a buck, man.
That's true what you're saying, but when it's mentioned, a lot of people, not a lot of people, majority of folks don't look at it in those type of eyes, that it does affect not only just the blacks, but other ethnicities. Majority of folks are looking at it one way. And he would strike a lot of nerves with this type of comment, especially in the DNC. I can imagine,
Let me show you something, man. You need people. Oh man. So look at it, man. When you got people like him, and he's in line with Trump, and they spew all of this rhetoric, right? When you got people like that, man, you gotta fight fire with fire.
Yeah.
Now,
I agree.
What you do is you're fighting fire with fire, but the way you pour gasoline on top of your fire to overtake their fire is you speak facts.
I agree.
Because your facts will prove that they're wrong.
Right. Every time.
The only people your facts will not influence are people who are easily influenced by lies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They prefer
And
to lie.
conspiracy theories.
Yeah.
And in one of the videos I saw where Charlie mentioning about the blacks committing more crimes than white, the young man that he was debating actually had information that contradicted what Charlie was saying, which his information, like you said, if you able, one way to get to fight this is with facts, and real knowledge, and this young man did so, which it makes you look a certain type of way. But again, I started off earlier saying how he overly exaggerates his stories, and I'm not gonna say he overly exaggerates the truth. He overly exaggerates his stories, just like we know 47 to do.
Man, that's all.
So he was definitely one of those. Like I said, if there was a baby being born between Trump and Charleston White, I think this is what he would look like, Charlie Kirk.
You know what? I gotta give you just a little bit of pushback on that, K-Money.
On the baby part?
Yeah, the baby part.
Okay.
The Charleston White part.
And I think I'm gonna know why you gonna say this.
Here's Charleston White. He has some weird kind of views, but when he shares his opinion and his views, it just stings.
Because a lot of his information is factual.
Is factual.
Right.
We as black folks, it's hard for us to swallow. To swallow the pill.
Yeah.
Pause. To swallow the pill.
Peel. You said peel though.
Yeah. It's hard for us to swallow the pill that, damn, man, you talking about me.
Right.
Because, case in point, and not to turn this into a Charleston White thing, but case in point. Charleston White said, I think all niggas, and I'm paraphrasing, all niggas should be going to jail. If you're doing wrong, your ass should go to jail, right?
Yeah.
He said, think about it. And I'm paraphrasing. They go to jail, they pick up books, they read, they come back, they have muscles because they've been working out, and they've been drinking water, and they have them waves in their hair, and they're brushing their hair, and they come out and they pick up a religion, they Muslim, and they pick up religion. Now, here's the thing. Some people who have a problem with him, and I'm not like this big Charleston White fan, but I call it like it is.
Yeah.
If he on point, Charles and I rock with you.
Yeah.
If I don't really agree with it, okay, I can respect your opinion, but I don't agree with it, right?
Yeah.
But when you think about it, man, you know what? He sure right.
Real shit, when you think about it,
because when you're on these streets,
I hadn't seen that video that you're talking about, but as you
It
mentioned,
just came out like last week.
Yeah. When you no, it's been out. He been spewing that stuff. But what I'm saying, my point I'm trying to make is that when them jokers on the street, You getting high, you smoking, drinking syrup, you
Yeah.
ain't working out, you ain't doing no push-ups and none of that stuff.
The same idle time you got on the streets.
And then when you out on the street, you ain't picked up a book to read or
None of
nothing.
that. Yeah.
But when you up in there, you
right.
picking up a book to read. Some of y'all walk out and don't even comb your damn hair.
Yeah. On a daily.
Yeah, on a daily basis. You get up in that moment, you find out I can get some waves.
Well, I'm gonna have to agree with you, bro. I'm gonna backdoor and say he has the antagonistic ways of Charleston White. You know,
okay.
Since you said, because his info is very factual, Charleston. It's just the way he spits it out.
The way it's delivered.
Let me piggyback off of what Freddie G said. See, what a lot of people don't understand, Charleston White been out when he was legit. If you go, you can see his videos. He's talking calmly, like regular, calm. Yes, and I'm presenting this to you like that. So when he was talking, sort of like Kevin Samuels, when he was talking like that, and nobody listened to him. But then when
he
you
got ignorant with it,
portray it and get ignorant and talk crazy to people, now everybody listening and like, I can't stand him, and now you listening because you can't stand him really. But really, you're getting educated because you can't stand him.
Now, I'll be honest, K-Man, I know this can turn into some Charleston White stuff, but I'll be honest, man. When I first was told about him and I listened to him, I'm like, man, this dude is stupid.
Me too.
He is ignorant. He's stupid. But then the more and more I listen to him, I'm like, damn, he do got some valid points.
I know. It's the way he comes across.
Now he does have some videos where he is talking some crazy shit.
Yeah, he's been disrespectful.
There you go. Very disrespectful.
Yeah.
But Charlie Kirk has some Charleston White ways. You know what I'm saying? You say you were the only one that was actually familiar with him, but I don't know if you've seen any of his debates. But he like I said, he definitely exaggerates to the point, like he overly exaggerates.
So here's what.
Well, you know, man, motherfucker, I know you lying. You know, come on, man.
But here's the thing with that though, and again, this is not like me sticking up for Charlie Kirk or me taking up for Charleston White, none of that stuff. But I think I understand what you're saying.
Well, no, I only said that because you said we're not trying to make this Charleston White, but I'm just saying his demeanor was very Charleston White-ish.
But here's the difference between Charleston White and Charlie Kirk, I think. There's a whole bunch of differences, but at times, Charleston White don't have a filter, and he doesn't know how to let it to back off. Case in point, fuck George Floyd, fuck his daughter.
Yeah.
He's dead, and you're speaking of what you're speaking. I don't think Charlie Kirk. Well, you may got me, but the audience may not get it.
Right? Yeah.
So now it's different because now you really done went over the line. I think that Charlie Kirk goes right up to the line and stick half his body over the line.
Right.
Yeah.
He doesn't have that courage.
But Charleston White will go all the way across the line.
Yeah, he's a habitual line crosser.
I got you.
Line stepper.
That's why I always say,
line stepper.
What's the name? Charlie Murphy used to say.
The person that committed this crime actually has been called, and it was 22-year-old Tyler Robinson, who actually was a student at one point in time. And I didn't mention where this assassination occurred, but it happened at on a Utah college campus. And Tyler actually was a student once upon a time on this campus. And after he had committed this this heinous act, he actually had reached out to a family member who, he reached out to a family friend who reached out to a family member who actually contacted the sheriff's office that eventually told, the sheriff of his doings. So I'm glad that he was caught sooner than later, because several things happen when things like this happen in a community. One, the folks in that area are paranoid because one, they don't know if this is a serial sniper, because you guys remember back in the day the DC sniper.
Yeah.
So it kind of you can't help but think that way, you know. And then as of lately, there's been a lot of school shootings or just senseless shootings, period. So again, you don't know the mind frame of this person that has caused this act. So the sooner that this person is caught, the better for the community as a whole. Not that this makes a difference or anything, but they did interview the roommate of Tyler Robinson, who they said to have been a transgender. Now, Tyler also apparently reached out on this app called Discord. Any of you guys ever heard of that?
Yeah, I've heard
Discord.
O-R-G.
D-I-S-C-O-R-D. C-O-R-D.
R-D. Okay, no, that's a different.
And this is an app which is used for communication, texting, voice communication, and video chatting. And he left a message on there basically saying how the rifle used in the shooting needed to be picked up. That's rather kind of stupid in my opinion, because you leaving a trail.
Right.
I don't know if this man, if he knew how this was going to end. Well, I'm in the middle of me saying that, I'm thinking that he got eliminated by the sheriff's office, but no, he was arrested, so he's still alive. Wanted to ask you guys a question though. When we have these type of events, and I hate tragedies. Thank you, Freddie G. How do you think it affects us as a country? You know, like an assassination like this, a successful assassination, a failed assassination
That nigga wasn't
attempt.
assassinated. That nigga was shot.
A failed attempt on 47 earlier. Was this last year? Earlier last year, and these school shootings that we happen to have. How do you think that makes us look as a country to these other countries? I was just wondering if you think.
So, man,
how you guys thought about that, if at all?
I don't think these other countries
care,
really give a damn about what goes on in America if it's not affecting them.
What it shows is that there is no respect for the younger generation. Don't have no respect for nobody. This is black, white, I don't care what they is, because these children that's doing this are children, 17 and younger. And I think it's just the fact that there is no consideration or respect for their elders in no kind of way. So it all starts in the village and at home, and the parents is not being parents, and this is everywhere.
That seems to be the common.
Yeah. To me, it shows also that it's easy to just tee off on somebody if you know what I'm saying. It's like a practice. Like, okay, you easily shot him, no problem.
Man,
like
this has been happening since the beginning, man. Look, here's what.
When you say the beginning of what?
Shit, time.
Okay.
Like, people in existence, but taking it all the way back to us, our youth. Let me show you something, man. Here's what makes this seems as if, this is some horrible blah blah blah. And I'm not downplaying that this wasn't a tragedy, right?
Right.
But here's what changes the dynamic of how it looks. When you ask how it looks, people, whatever. So look, the difference between a dude, because this was white on white.
Right.
This is white on white. Black on black happen every day, right? Let's use Chicago for an example. Here, we can use here in Houston.
Right.
The difference between the two is that, other than the color, the difference between the two is that most blacks, if it's going to be some shooting right up, the further the distance will probably be about 10 yards. For the most part. So it's kind of like you arguing with somebody that pull out a gun and shoot you right here.
Right.
What makes this look like, this was because this dude planned it, and he was a sharpshooter. The distance was so far, and then it's like, this is assassination. No, this man wasn't in politics, so he wasn't a politician, so he wasn't assassinated. This was just a regular con man that liked to spew rhetoric to get people to influence and to agree with him and influence them. This dude was shot. He wasn't no politician. He wasn't none of that. He was just shot. So man, I'm sorry, I get fired up about this kind of stuff, man. And the difference between the two is the distance. Most black folks, when y'all having that black on black, y'all right up close and personal. Or you may do a drive-by a little bit, whatever the case may be. But now, dudes that sniping and playing this stuff out and on top of buildings and scopes and all that, that's what makes it bad.
Yeah, and if you look back in history, hell, nobody that has been assassinated
Up close and personal?
except Malcolm. So you know that was I was gonna make a joke out of that. With
was black.
Well, yeah, he was black, but it was up close and
Yeah, so I was
personal.
gonna say. So that's how you know that was one reason you know it was a black dude because it was up close and
Yeah, it was
personal.
up close and personal.
Yeah, you're right about that, Freddie G. Man, in closing, I just hate that these type of things happen. Because we've three of us have been to these third world countries and we've heard and seen how sometimes their leaders have been assassinated, even though this guy, like you said, wasn't anybody of that importance to us anyway, because again, three of us on at the table had never heard of him prior to him being unalived. So I'm saying that to say everything that happens, we've talked about how these third world countries are they be going ham basically, but we actually have the same thing happening here in America, and how we mentioned on the previous show, our country unfortunately is in a political civil war, and these type of things, as long as it's occurring, it's not going to help us. I also heard because of this happening, several HBCUs had gotten threats. I believe the DNC have received some threats. So
I'm sorry.
No. I mean, it just caused a domino effect for further negative shit to happen.
Let me show you something with that. I'm glad you said that, man. I know you're trying to close.
No, we good.
But man, let me tell you something about that, man. See, that just goes to show about how a lot of these white folks are who are MAGA
Followers.
or MAGA followers, right? And now I'm not talking about all white folks, but
No, you specifically saying the MAGA followers.
Yeah. Instead of looking at it to be like, okay, and keep in mind, MAGA hide behind Christianity too. They blend all that like real Christian base, right? Right. Now let me show you something, man. Instead of y'all taking responsibility for your white on white, because this dude, if I'm not mistaken, his beliefs were Mormon or something to that effect, and so that's white on white. But some kind of way y'all want to blame,
Point the finger
the
at the DNC.
at the DNC, who we know a lot of black folks are associated
Right.
with the DNC. And now this happened on a white campus, a lily white state for the most part, and now y'all want to start talking, let's go get HBCUs. That's white on white shit.
Right.
We ain't in y'all shit. We ain't in your shit.
Has nothing to do with
This ain't got nothing to do with us. But y'all want to drag and bring us in. See, that's
But see that's Trump-like,
Of course.
And this is the type of person Charlie Kirk was. So I can't sit here and say he got what he asked for. But I mean,
you know, one of the last statements that Joker said before he got shot. For the most part, paraphrasing it.
I couldn't understand.
Paraphrase.
I saw the video. And I was bewildered when I saw it, to be honest with you. But I couldn't understand what he was saying.
Well, just paraphrasing it. Basically, he was talking about gun violence.
Gun violence, yeah. Somebody.
And then they asked him a specific question about gun violence, right? About mass shootings or something to that effect, right? Yeah, mass shootings and stuff, But instead of him just answering the questions in regards to the context it was presented to him, that joker, and I'm paraphrasing, say, you mean talking about, and we're including the gang violence too. Mm-hmm. When we think of gangs, the first thing in our community is sad, but we think of Crips, Bloods,
Right.
GDs, Vice Lords, and
Right.
stuff like that, right? But he wanted to implement that to kind of change the narrative just a tad bit, shift it just a little bit,
Yeah.
and include black folks and all this stuff. And that was those were the last words he spewed before he took a bullet in the neck
Yeah.
From a white man.
Yeah.
from a white man.
Yeah. Like I say, I hate to say he kind of got what he asked for or got what he deserved, but
You read what you saw.
there you go. I couldn't put it no better than that. Thanks, Freddie G. Peace out. This concludes another True Tuesday episode, and be sure you tune in tomorrow for another episode of Women Wednesday with Freddie G. Don't forget to follow us on X, formerly known as Twitter, at 52 Sky Podcast, Instagram and Facebook, The 52 Sky Podcast, and if you're on YouTube, don't forget to like and or subscribe. And to all my 52 Sky faithfuls, it may be new to you, but if you heard it here, then you know it's true.